Our back was really against the wall. When you are trying to do something that doesn't exist, it's very difficult. It was then during 2020 that we took the leap to go on Kickstarter. Make sure you have some type of presence already. Build some type of audience, community before you launch.
Yeah, maybe you can start with just like giving us a little background about you and where were you before starting this brand and what made you make the leap and do this.
Yes, my name's Alex. I was I was born and raised in Taiwan until when I was 13, moved to the US because parents want us to have, the American dream. That's what they wanted for us. And so, that was Cupertino, California, and then grew up in I grew up pretty much in New York on the East Coast and studied college, high school, college, and worked with different jobs, pretty interesting jobs. I worked for MTV, was advertising and sales, was like right on Broadway, and so was since we're talking, I guess you'll be able to chop up, whatever that would be, I guess interesting. And then from there, I worked at different jobs, the different things. I actually study fashion, study acting as well, and then worked at jobs, and I was like, there's got to be more to life than this. You work 9 to 5, and every year you look for 1 2 weeks vacation. Sorry, kind of giving you a whole life story. So it was actually 2009. I went to Hong Kong, and that's when Asia was kind of Beijing Olympics had just happened. So Asia was actually kind of on the rise in terms of the economy, in terms of a lot of the just a lot of things. A lot of attention was kind of focused towards Asia. So my friend went to Singapore, another friend went to Japan. So I was like, okay, let me, I have family in Hong Kong. So I went just to kind of see what that is about. And it was more like a family operation. My mother, she had business over there, so it's kind of in the manufacturing world. So for the pretty much since '09 to 2019, I was immersed in the world of manufacturing. And so it was really different to see the ground zero of where products are made. Most people, you go to Walmart, you go to Target, the product is sitting on the shelf, whether it's your pressure cooker, your whatever you're buying, you're seeing a pretty packed up package in a box. But while I am, I travel all different parts of China to the manufacturing, and you're seeing where the pieces are being stamped or things are being injected and then goes on the production line and how things kind of all come together. So that gave me a deep learning and kind of it changed my mind. When I see a product, I am looking at how it was constructed, what process was involved. Like, in terms of say this cover, for DJ, okay, this is probably a simpler, but then okay, this was injected, then they put other things on top of it. So whenever I see something, it would kind of my mind would kind of work in a different way. And so that's kind of what stamped it. So it was 2000 and so being in that world, and then we did manufacturing for customers in the US where whether things that were sold on TV, pressure cookers, blenders, vacuum cleaners, we all had a hand involved in that. And funny enough, the idea was actually my mother. Her love of rotisserie chicken. So whenever she would visit the US, the first stop we would have to make is Boston Market, and she would have to get her two-piece dark with cheese with the mac and cheese and corn, I believe. And so it was there. And so whenever we're in the and I would travel back and forth. So whenever we're be in the US, she wants to make the rotisserie at home in the kitchen oven because we do a lot of products. So that was kind of her the idea was actually, she wanted to do that, and then she wanted to do it non-electric in the oven.
Mm.
And we thought it was crazy. It was like, no way, this cannot be done. Like, what are you talking about? So it was from there. And 2016, it was when the first piece of drawing. We had a piece of paper, a first piece of drawing that we had a just it was like a sheet and then two triangles and a circular motion, like a circular circles, kind of indicate
Yeah.
what that was. And then was from there that so it was a family, yeah, family Denver. So in the background, we always kind of had in mind, but again, when you are trying to do something that doesn't exist or it hasn't been done, and it's very difficult because nobody would take the time to invest. Everybody wants to make things that's already there because it's easy to replicate it. And so it took about 4 years to develop this product.
Wow.
And in the question you asked, did you give up in between? Multiple times, I think we came to the making the decision to kind of drop it completely because uh, you don't have the product yet. We would love to send you guys one if you cook, but if you see in person, it's very simple the way it's constructed. So it's actually very simple to make something complex simple. I'm sorry that it's actually very difficult to make something complex, uh, simple, but at the same time does the job.
Mm.
So
Yeah, and it is a cool product. I was looking at the website, and it is very nice because I do love rotisserie chicken, and I'm
okay,
like, oh, this is a great way to make rotisserie chicken at home.
would love to send you one for you to
Oh, I'm
try.
not saying that to get a free one, but I'm just saying, like, I'm like, oh, this is such a cool product because always you go to the restaurant and you see this complex oven, and you're like, oh, I'm never gonna make this at home. But then when I saw this, I'm like, oh, what a nice simple way to make rotisserie chicken at home. And that was to your point. But my question was, what made you want to do the jump into the entrepreneurial world? Because you were working in manufacturing,
Yes.
and then you know you and your mom said she wanted to solve this problem to do it at home, and what made you like, oh, let's take this mainstream?
We we actually I prior to this, I've always kind of wanted to do things on my own. In college, me and a friend started a website selling sneakers and jerseys. So that was more like the old school times where that social media thing exists. So we did that for a long time, and I used to travel overseas to get sneakers, and I would bring them back to the US. And the same time, I would sell the sneakers in the US. I would send them overseas to like London, to Hong Kong, and then that trade kind of happened. So I always kind of did things on my own and enjoyed that freedom. And also during the past 10 years, I also started other business with friends that sometimes things just happen. No, it was we were in China actually for a musical event, and then met this person, and turned out he worked directly across from our office, and he's a designer. He comes on the toy industry. He's from Boston. We're from New York, and so that kind of clicked off. So it was kind of our knowledge of knowing, to have the access and kind of the know-how, and then our knowledge between the East and the West, and also this our friend who's from Boston, but he's been living in China for 10 years. And so it was that we kind of started that venture together. So, and that was 2015. So the track, and then that business also took about, it's still there, but it's kind of more in the background now because um it's funny because we were surrounded by money, but we're kind of sorry we're at a train station. It seems like we're getting on the train, surrounded by money, millionaires, and things, and then we're all buddy buddy with everybody. We thought we know we knew what we were doing, but it was kind of one of the first time that we kind of have something people are looking at us like we're peers. And then the train took off, and we're still at the station. We're like, what happened? So that's kind of what happened with that business. So and then came along Roto Q360. So all these kind of trial and failures and being in the business. So we knew we have something once because it doesn't exist. And we actually it took so long to get these things to work. So we knew we had something, but we didn't know how to push it. And truth be told, why did we take this jump to get into this? Is COVID, and that was kind of during COVID time. And uh, as we all know, with the connectivity of the world, how internet, how everybody have access now to manufacturing, communication is really not a problem. Even though we're kind of there, um, that window of service that we provide is starting to close in, right? Even though we are good, we there's definitely a value in what we provide, but a lot of people these days, it's there's actually the gap is very narrow now compared to back then. So what happened was, yes, so kind of our backs was against the wall, business is not happening, and COVID happened. So a lot of things, and then our family, we don't have a large company, it's less than 10 folks, but still people depend on us. And uh kind of families and kind of in debt. I don't know how much this you'll be released, but we're kind of our back was really against the wall. And the other business venture that I told you wasn't also again, train left. We're still there, So costs is adding up, and we have mouths to feed. We're like, okay, we have to do something. We have this wonderful product that we took testing, and we actually really got it from that piece of paper to actually able to work in oven for an hour. Okay, spinning 5 pounds of food over a grill without breakage, without it stopping. It actually cooks. So, but what good does that do anyone if we have the greatest product and that nobody knows? So it was then during 2020 that we took the leap to go on Kickstarter, to launch it, to brand
Mhm.
it, to so it was kind of a forced situation. Sometimes things, when you're back against the wall, you have to make decisions. That's what happened. And prior to that, we did, because the connection we have. This is not our strong suit, right? Building a company, building a brand, trying to market, know all these things that we are now doing. We, of course, initially all the connection that we had. We were in US, we were in California, we were in Jersey, we were in wherever, trying to pitch it to all these large retailers, these brands. We go to houseware shows where we have, my mother has a long history experience in that. She's kind of respected, worked with a lot of great people, from the Rumpel Peels to your TriStar, a lot of heavyweights. She has dealings where no, and so that was also why we had to do it, because she's been in that bit. Also, for her, so man, she made money, but at the same time is what is that called? Yeah, it was nothing ever to show for. A lot of things that she was in the background, but she held her own. That world is the world of men kind of working that. So we went to this, went to that, went to all the big brands that you could probably think of. Any of the ones that you see on TV. There's interest. Nobody knew. We even, funny enough, there's a story. We went to one of the companies, and there was a celebrity chef who goes, bam. I don't know if that rings a bell, but he was there. We had the product. His eyes lit up. We were like, okay, we know we got something. If he saw it, because he didn't say much, because he was there working on another product they had, other projects they had, but it so happened that shook his hand, and then he was like, oh, what do you guys got? And then there was also, like, all along the way, it was little telltale signs like, okay, we got something. Nobody took it. Nobody took the product. So we're back in our own self in the corner again with our product, that this great product that the world doesn't know. We don't know how to sell it, push it. Sorry, this is a more long-winded question because this did take a long time. Uh, you know,
Yeah, no, I appreciate you sharing the story. That's great. I mean, this is a big part of making a product and bringing it to life. And I appreciate you sharing that, because most of our audience are people who go from zero to trying to create a product. So this is great. I appreciate you sharing that. But yeah, please go ahead.
no. So even when that happened, I think pandemic happened early 2020. Funny enough, we're in the US for a trade show for the other business. We're in Vegas, and then this thing happens. Just so happened we had an office, like a make like office slash living space. in Los Angeles. And when that happened, we just stayed. And I've since kind of moved back permanently in the States.
So
And
that's 5 years after you guys came up with the idea.
5 years. Five.
So let's break it down a little bit. Let me ask you this: what happened with the Kickstarter project? Did that do well? Did you guys launch on Kickstarter?
That's yes. That's what got us off the ground.
When was that?
It was 2020 May
Okay.
that the campaign launched, and I believe it ended a couple months later. I think
Yeah,
July,
I think they're
August.
usually 1 month, right?
Yeah, because of the weird situation during that time, we're able to kind of extend it for. So we had uh we had a little bit more time to push, and no, it was a great experience. We had same thing. We enlisted help from others, people around us. We had a friend who had launched in the past, so he kind of knew how the Kickstarter system worked, or how to kind of just lay everything out. These are the steps, kind of 1, 2, 3. You know all these things, all the things you need to prepare. Whether it's try to gather a emailing list from I don't know even where, from the thin air, who's going to be interested in this. Try to do some press releases. Try to have somebody write something about this, and then try to publish it, and all of that good stuff, which we've never done before. And also, the creative person that from our business, kind of with a branding situation. So we had help from just kind of people all around us, all these years that we kind of did things. And I was always the person that was I'm the executioner. I'm the doer. I do it. I go get it. If things need to be tested, I'll test it. So that was kind of me all along the process. I'm just the guy. People ask, when I talk about this brand, that it's because I'm the face, right? I'm the one here. My mother and my brother, who's are also very involved in Roto Q360. They're currently in Taiwan, which is actually where I'm from. So people always ask, "Are you engineers?" The answer is no, but I just have been immersed in that world for the past 10 years, and I've learned that the engineering, yes, the drawings, but it's all about the trial and error. You arrive to that okay. You fail to that, okay product. So back to yes, Kickstarter. Sorry. Kickstarter, and then that kind of got us off the ground. We were very proud of what we accomplished. We have 4,440 backers from and raised like with the we raised close to, I believe, 440 plus $1,000, close to $500,000. And then
Wow.
when it concluded, it was backers from 75 different countries.
Wow.
So we were like, okay, this has an appeal to everywhere. We
That's
were shipping to
amazing.
some, thank you. We were shipping to some odd countries, Malta, like Madagascar. Like it was just some of weird countries. We were so proud. But of course, launching it, we didn't price right. We didn't do any of the things right. And then pandemic happened. Everything, all the costs tripled. So we actually did not make a dime. We actually lost
Mm,
money with the project.
mhm.
But what it did gave us was the ability to tool it, to make the toolings for this
To
product,
launch it.
to launch it, and to create a great campaign, a resume for Roto Q360. Enable us to talk to different folks and then be like, here's kind of what we did. This is a pretty impressive resume to kind of come off the gate, and then to have that.
Let me ask you this actually. What are like three tips that you can share with us for like a successful Kickstarter that you've learned?
What are the three successful
Tips
tips?
for launching a successful Kickstarter.
Very important. You definitely, before you launch, like I said, how we were trying to gather a list, because you want to, because everything, even with Kickstarter, similar with all of the social media platforms, there's some type of algorithm or however the machine kind of pushes out. Because um once you get attention, you always have to do your own thing before it go viral. So I say that to say, with the ease, the with the capabilities, the reach of social media, make sure you have some type of presence already. Build some type of audience, community before you launch, for sure. Get it tested and just get in people's hands. Create any type of content to generate a conversation, generate anything, and reach out to folks. Because yeah, if you don't, like what we did, if you don't reach out, nobody would know about you. And
Mm,
the yeah, so you have to be active on the reach out. And once you also talk to somebody that has done it before, I would say try to reach out to folks. And how? Because the community, I would say, most of the part, it costs nothing. It costs you nothing to reach out. Maybe time. So when you're on the platform, you could see all the people that are who are the founders behind it. The information is there if you look deep enough. And a lot of times, with even within the platform, they have things like almost like social media where you collaborate. So you could share their campaign while you share your campaign. And then there's updates. Make sure that was the first tip. Make sure you build something for it. The second one, I would say, the update. There's an update on there's the campaign, and then there's the update section where you kind of, because it's a month long. During your course of the campaign, there are updates you kind of provide where you are, thank you, and then if you hit certain targets, and then you kind of provide updates, whether it's manufacturing, not so much during the campaign, but a lot of times actually slightly afterwards as well. So you want to make sure you continue to provide update. You want to keep people engaged, create content. So that's what we did while all this was happening. We were creating content, and it was just me and Buddy, for a comedian friend of mine. I would go to his house, his kitchen, and I'll pull up the iPhone and on a tripod, and there he goes. And he's no professional chef, but there's something people could relate to, people could look at. And at the same time, one of the biggest thing was Kickstarter. It helps kind of to better your product, meaning that it's a lot of forward thinking folks on that platform. People, you go on there because you're looking for product that's not ready made already. A lot of things actually come from that. Like Pebble, there was a thing, Pebble Watch. It was one of the early on. They launched I think that was one of the early the smartwatches, Pebble. So I say that to say, um, forward thinking people on there. So people would give you will ask you questions. So this is actually a great testing ground before. And if you make it, there's your testing ground. You make it, you meet your target, and then you kind of then launch onto the mainstream. A lot of the big brands, I believe, a couple of the pizza makers these days, how pizza is crazy, came from that world. So that's a great testing ground. People will ask questions. So it actually helps you better your product and allow you to build give you a great resume out the
mm,
gate, some type of marketing tool. So all of that. Yeah. So that was the two. Three, three. I don't know. Don't just even if Kickstarter does not work out to your benefit, if you believe in your product and you see it working, um yeah, just don't give up, I guess. If anything, just continue to persevere, because if one door closes, another one will open, as cliche as that sounds. And if you're really serious about what you do, then continue to do that. And funny enough, I'm sorry, a lot of big brands, they go on that platform to look for ideas.
mm.
Yeah. So it's a fair world, right? If you're gonna put yourself out there, then yeah, people is gonna take it's a battleground in the business world. It's a battleground, just like I'm sure you guys know, because I did look at the video um when you were guys were showing the I'm sorry, the when I was looking at the tutorial. I forgot why I brought that up, but I you could see that, you know, I mean, meaning that you guys in the world of Amazon, it's a battlefield out there. You know, whether it's pricing, whether it's people, it's a battle. So if you're not comfortable with that, then don't be in it, because you know, it could be cutthroat. It so yeah, I would say yeah. And also make sure you sorry, another tip, if you're really serious and you're get that stage, make sure you trademark your things, trademark your design, your logo. And a lot of that thing, a lot of those services, or a lot of those, I'm not sure if I have the right word, but it's really cost, it's not expensive. You go on YouTube, somebody out there will teach you how to file a trademark, and it will cost you nothing but 225, I believe. I don't think that changed. So
Yeah,
no.
Travis has a step-by-step video on how to
See?
file your trademark. It's pretty straightforward.
Ah,
It's really easy. I've done it several times.
ah,
And I think it's $275 to get it,
okay,
and
okay,
it's pretty
okay, okay.
straightforward. You don't need to hire a lawyer to do it. You can if you want to, if you don't want to like deal with it, but you end up paying the lawyer another
Yeah,
$300,
yes.
uh, which is still not bad
Yeah,
if you want someone to do it. But honestly, it's literally like a 15-20 minute process that you can do yourself.
yeah.
I
Yes.
wanted to ask you, how are you doing on time? Do we have to end this at 12, or because we
I'm
do have
okay.
you're
I
if
am
you're
okay.
good, because we do have some stuff to go over. I could like speed up the we could like cut it short a bit to answer some of those questions, but if you're good on time,
We're just having No, I'm actually okay. We're just kind of having a conversation, and you're able to, if there's any, I wouldn't say gems, if anything of value, then you will chop it. I mean, edit it. So I'm comfortable, and I thank you for, you know, again for
yeah,
the
no,
time
thank you
reaching out.
for coming and sharing your story. I mean, this is incredible, and thank you for sharing all this stuff, because this is exactly what every new seller goes through, every new business owner, um, with e-commerce especially, is going through. So I appreciate you sharing that, and we're big on a Kickstarter. We talk about that a lot, and we do recommend that people do pre-launch on Kickstarter,
Oh,
because, like you said,
absolutely.
it helps with funding the idea and getting you the funds for your initial launch,
Yes.
and it just
Absolutely.
gets you off the ground like
Yes.
much easier.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and how much did it cost you? So you guys had a very successful Kickstarter, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You blew it out of the park. And um, let's talk about the manufacturing process, if you don't
Yes.
mind, and
Okay.
let's like break it down a little bit. How much did it cost you, or did you do it yourself to design the product? Did you hire a
Um,
engineer to design it?
everything was it was I mean, we have relationship with the manufacturer. But that wasn't even I wish I had the original mock-up. We had a friend who is great at making mock-ups. If you tell him something, he'll mock it up for you, like in front, like with whatever tool he had in mind. Um, and no, so the first mock-up, there was no drawing. It was I I think I have a photo. It was a stainless steel sheet with two triangles with some holes on with some holes on it. So it was like a triangle and goes like side by side, and a sheet right underneath it, like that, and zip tie. It zip tie a. It was actually, I believe, a just a timer, like a microwave timer, or one of those kind of timers that people will use for cooking, because it has a winding in there. That on the side. Of course, it was propped open in the back end, and then he jigged something that, and then he got a really small basket, like zero 0.5 pounds, I believe, and one of the smaller ones you could get it anywhere easily. You got that, so that went through the panels. The basket was right in the middle, and he timed some bolts on it to like make it like I guess some weight to it, and then zip tied the timer on the other side of the plate. That on here, the screw kind of went in. It was actually just things you could find if you're, yeah, Home Depot. And then that wind up the timer, and as the timer was going, we saw the wheel spinning. It was like, okay, it is possible to, I mean, now looking at it, yes, of course, this is like the ballerina, the music box. You open there's the is dancing or any of that. Now look, years later, now people, when we see comment, it's like, oh, this is no different than this. I was like, bro, if you knew, come on, you would have done it. And this is the type of product. It's funny enough that so many people see it, they'd be like, yo, why didn't I think of this? Because so simple at the same time. But you don't understand from that point, that was the first because I had to share a little bit, which I cannot share too much. After Kickstarter, like we were coming around. Like it wasn't it, of course you need to, and also another thing, people that I would say, based on my knowledge, anything that pops off on Kickstarter, there's really not just a Joe Schmo in the basement say I have a great idea, I'm the creator. There's some type of team, some type of effort behind, a successful project, as as simple, I mean, as a pre-launch as Kickstarter. So make sure you are, surround yourself with able folks that are able to help you to do, and never wait. If nobody to do the job, just do it yourself. Sorry, kind of got off topic. Because that was kind of crucial to what, no. And then after that, so you need to put in the effort before you can go viral. I mean, so we kind of gone baby viral at that point. But I'm not even, yeah. So other articles will pick it up and then kind of publish on their own, and then other people. And we had there was another reviewer from UK. They have a pretty big following. They picked up a product from nowhere. They were actually one of the backers, I think. So it kind of carried on. So things didn't stop. Another tip, actually, your project does not stop when the campaign ends. If you want your thing continue, you gotta continue to pump out content, because that's your base. Now you have a solid base. You have a community. These people are actually pretty active, right? They want to see you succeed. That's why they gave you money for. If you look at the laws, or the when you click the buy or backing, the creators, they are not binding legally to provide you the product, meaning that if they fail, they don't have to pay you back. They just have, it's almost a goodwill in a way. Of course, I'm not sure how people would try to scam, but it's only out of the goodwill of the creator that you fully believe that they will sort out every avenue to get you the product. So yeah, it doesn't stop. You have to continue to build that. If you're serious, you have to continue to build that, keep people engaged, and build off that. And after Kickstarter, there's Indiegogo, there's so many other campaigns, platform. And after Kickstarter, we actually went on to launch in Korea. So again, sorry. So yeah, we launched in Korea, we launched in Japan, we're able to launch in Taiwan, because people, successful projects on Kickstarter, they catch a lot of eyeballs. People go on Kickstarter to look for the next bright idea, and a lot of distributors, a lot of business, they go on there to look for successful campaigns so they could bring it. It's because it's already a proven track records, and they'll bring it to their own platform to replicate it to their audience. So very important. It doesn't stop after Kickstarter stops. So sorry, I kind of lost. I kind of went all over the place. When I have things of value to me that I think, I would just share it. And what was the original question? I know I had I was going.
No, no, don't worry about it. That's really great insights. I was just asking about how much did it cost you for the design of the product to
Oh,
manufacture it?
yes. Um, I have these numbers roughly. I will have to go. Oh, the reason why I have some of these numbers is because after Kickstarter, we were actually invited, but we never made it to the parent of with Shark Tank. Actually, it was a lengthy process, and we were thankful that we actually did not make it to that because we're able to be invited to another show, which is yet to air. So that's
Mm.
actually exciting. And hopefully, yeah, and yeah. So how much did it cost? It was, if I have to put a number to it, if that's some, I don't know how you'd be able to. Yeah, that might be something I have to provide you a little.
Doesn't have to be exact, like maybe just
Um,
a rough estimate on like how much did you guys, spend
it
on
was more
design?
time. It was time.
Okay.
It's time that was inputted, time away from time away from doing actual business. It was a lot more time, and of course, okay, a average person's salary for 4 or 5 years, I would say that. Each time we make a mock-up, it probably costs, like the friend that we have, right? For him to mock that up and then to make to us communicating and then mocking it up, how much did that cost? If it was a real business, or if you go to, would that cost a few couple of thousand? I don't know. The person's expertise, the his time. So it's just a lot of time.
Okay.
And yeah, I would say average, that's a cheap person. 50,000, after tax, 80,000, I'm sorry, 80,000 after taxes, for 4 years. Let's just say that.
Okay.
If you were to put a cost on it, and in between, because the tooling came after we concluded the campaign. So before that, it was just also a lot of time, right? We bought an industrial oven that is able to go up to higher temperature than your regular home oven. That costs a few dollars. That costs a few bucks because, yeah, there was a Siemens. It was like industrial. It went up to like 600, I believe. So that costs, I think $1,000, I believe. And then again, was mock-ups, which is mocking things up. And each time, um,
They're like samples,
yeah,
basically. You guys are
example,
testing them out.
yeah.
At that time, did you also start working on like brand name, logo, design? None of that. You're just working on
Make
product design.
product design. No, because as I shared earlier, even before to sell this, our first target were the connections that we have. We pitch it to all these big brands because we don't know how to pitch, we don't know how to market. And this is the world that of established business. There's a structure. There's the Costco's, there's the Walmart, there's the Target, there's the Williams Sonomas. You can't just go into the store and be like, here's my product. What do you? So
Right.
yeah, so that did not come until we were. I wouldn't even say rejected. Some folks, yeah, yeah. After the product did not move forward, that's kind of when we were back against the corner, and this was in a way our lifeline and everything that we put into it for the past 4 or 5 years. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it was just multiple visits because we were in our office was Hong Kong, so I was living there as well. So it would be just travels back and forth between office and then to the manufacturer, and kind of sitting down with engineers, and so from there we kind of then they try to get actual springs that could hold some weight, and then
Mhm.
kind of build the shell around it. In the beginning, the reason I mentioned this because the reason I mentioned the show is because I actually had to go back to duck up all the records, not in terms of how much we spent, but I actually created somewhat of a timeline of when I visited. I created, and so I could see. That's why I was able to tell you 2016 was the first drawing, and then from there the mock-up, And then from there, the second mock-up. And initially, it had to be electric because we couldn't make it actually turn. So it had to be, to mock it up. We had to, it actually had to be a plug-in. And then it took time to actually remove that aspect to make it actuality. And each time it fails, the manufacturer. And then we're talking about raw materials, right? When it comes to raw materials, these raw material suppliers, they are manufacturing at such a scale that they don't do mock-ups, especially when these industrial parts, we're talking about timers. How many timers are made a year? They're like hundreds of millions, because they're so cheap. So, and then they make such large scales and all these type of metals. They're not mocking up things for you at your specification to do this and that. And who are we? Where are you going to sell it to? What is this for? We didn't even really have a solid idea while we were doing all this, but we want to see it happen. So again, there was just a lot of time, a lot of receiving no's, a lot of, it was just time spent to the effort that we put into it, whether it's to
Excuse
email
me.
even ourselves, Alibaba, no problem. Just the time spent figuring this out. That was what the cost was. All the other things, of course, it costs money. Maybe when you all add it up, maybe 5, 10,000, even more, maybe. But being that we were uh, in Asia, we were able to keep the cost somewhat a little bit low. You know, so yes,
Ho-
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, how did you find the manufacturers and how many manufacturers did you talk to?
It was a lot, but it was very tricky. Why was it tricky? Being in that business, right? In the battlefield. And there is since I kind of know a little bit more, like I like to share a little bit more. Hopefully that's okay with you. China, right? And US. There are three types of I'm sorry, you asked such a simple question. I could have just tell you the answer, but I'm gonna share with you anyways. There are three types of innovations, right? There's the US, right? The Western world, the forward thinking, right? They're creating things that does not exist, whether it's the rockets, Elon, right? And there are the China was kind of where you're simply manufacturing, you're reproducing what is existing. So China's been there for since when they opened the gates to so that. And it was funny that when pandemic happened, the world realized shit, they make everything, right? So China was there for a long time, right? And then so the second type is where they will take an idea of what is existing, and they will bring something new to the table. They're not quite innovating brand new things, but they're like, so that's kind of where China is these days. So when you talk about how many manufacturers, we talk to loads, but we have to be very strategic. We can't really tell them what we're doing, because when you don't talk, when the thing does not exist, nobody knows how to make it. But once like it's there, once iPhone, you see an iPhone, yo, everybody knows how to make this damn thing. All right, they know how to reverse engineer it. So dozens, hundred, because no, being in that, we definitely really had China was kind of like our backyard. So I'm not even exaggerating if I told you we talked to 100 manufacturer trying to lead us,
Wow.
right, lead us to the right direction. Who does this? Oh, I don't do that. Oh, they do this. So a lot of it wasn't
Trying to figure out who's the right
yeah, a lot
manufacturer.
of it was probably phone calls. Be like,
Mm,
hey, and then at the same time, not revealing what we were really trying to do, and then
right.
keep everything kind of separate. Okay, if you do this, you do that. We'll just talk about this area. Don't worry about what we're doing. We need this to withstand heat. So do you do that? Okay. Do you do metal parts? We need this to be. We want it to be collapsible. Don't worry about what it does. We just want it to fold. All right. Don't worry about what it does. So a lot of it we had to keep it. So, and that's what also make it things take longer. We couldn't just go to one,
Right,
couldn't
right.
just go to one person and give it to us. So it
Yeah.
was a lot of that. And even our artwork, what is Vertical 360? What is all, don't worry about it. Just print it out, make the box. This is what we want. So but even at that, we're very certain at some point someone will come along with something similar, but because it took so long for us, I know that we still have a head start, and that's why we try very hard to create the brand that we are creating now. At least then that is not replaceable. Whether, yeah. So that is what we trying to do now, and also continue to innovate. So sorry, to answer your question, we talked to loads,
Mm.
and to arrive to this point.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And in the end, I'm guessing you found the manufacturer that was able to accommodate for all your requests, for all your design requests. How did you choose your final manufacturer?
Some of these things I don't even know if I could share.
Okay.
Meaning,
Oh, you
meaning
don't have to. I'm just curious to like what how did you decide which one to go with? Was it their communication, their
uh,
ability to be coachable and to be able to work with? What was the behind reason? Just to give you a little like reminder, like most of our audience are people who've never done this before.
mm,
Most of these questions is to help out
yeah,
our audience with like, okay, how do I find the manufacturer? Like one of the things that we recommend, and we like to reflect that with our peers. So like when I'm having conversations with successful brand owners,
yeah,
like the breakdown of like how do you find the successful or how do you find your manufacturer, it kind of breaks down into three things, which is communication,
yeah,
their ability to communicate effectively with you and want to help you out, their ability to work with you and accommodate your designs, and another thing is to work with giving you good pricing and maybe allow you to order a minimum order quantity that's that's reasonable for your budget. And oh, here my camera goes out again, give me one sec.
This is like, I think you're like the Netflix. Like, are you still here? You kind of gotta touch the button, be like, yes, I'm still watching, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why it's such a silly design. They put it where it disconnects every 30 minutes,
Yeah,
um but yeah, it's like one of those things that we trying to help our audience to break it down, and we show them how other successful people who've like launched successful
yeah,
brands, like this is what they look for in a manufacturer.
yeah,
So to keep those points in mind, that's why I'm asking you, how did you choose your manufacturer?
yeah. Uh, um, yes, no. Actually, all those points that you brought up were the reason why we chose who we choose to work with. I just, when you asked that question, I just had an afterthought. That's why, like someone, even till today, we're still making mistakes,
Mm,
so that's why some of the things, yeah, I don't even, but yes, that is why somebody that was willing, we actually had past working relationship with them, and that they had a little bit of backing, I guess, meaning that they were willing to play with us. You know what I mean? They uh and also we did make some we do my mother, she does have a very impressive resume as well, kind of in that world, so they'd be like, okay, the potential, this could be that. So we sold them a dream. That's what we did, because it was not easy. Most folks, they'd be like, we're trying to make money, we're not trying to, no. So even after we got finally arrived to a manufacturer, even after that, it took 2 years from it took 2 years with them to then finally make it to
mm,
to tool it. After 2 years of
mm,
because because there's so many things involved. How
Yeah.
to make this thing, how does it come together? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at our Kickstarter campaign, our original design, the bottom was actually a fixed plate, meaning that it wasn't open. It did not come with a tray. It was actually through. That's why I said Kickstarter is very important. I won't say it's important. You want to take advantage, where you can. It's just you're doing all the hard work already. It's not easy. There's nothing new under the sun these days. So, like people say, right? So, you have something great, something good to offer to the table, then, Kickstarter is your friend. Indiegogo is your friend. You want to go on there, you want to share it. And most people are, I would say, honest folks. It is a battlefield, but make sure you show this to the world. You're protected in one way or another. You going out to this world. You don't want to go out naked. Okay, so make
Yeah.
sure really make sure you got some clothes on before you go out there. Hopefully you could get that. Yeah, analogy. But yeah, make sure you're protected. And what is that called? Yeah, use that as your friend. So original design, it was we had no tray, so it was just that. Because again, as the creator of a brand, of a product, you could probably think about 99.5 99% nine of the things that you could think of, but you don't know until this is in people's eyes. There's so many people. That's why when you look at a cool video, viral video, there are viral comments as well. There will be somebody think of clever things to say that would be like, oh wow, that's funny. Oh, that's a good one. Same thing with Kickstarter. When the product, you can think about 99% of the things, but once it's out to the world, it's theirs. Somebody's gonna have some idea because their background, their environment, they're gonna have something to offer you. So back to the point, the tray came from that community. We I wish I shot a video from our mock-up, which was actually very precious. Those I think cost like $2,000 each. I think we made three or two. So the actual cost, that was expensive. So that was what we used in the video. That's what we used to cook, to kind of demonstrate. When I was in LA, I literally went to Home Depot and I cut a hole in the bottom of our design and then put that on the grill. So yes, so that's so all along the way. Keep on going back to Kickstarter. So that is what we arrived to, who we finally to work with. That's what we did. There was some type of past relationship, so there's a little bit of trustworthiness, because there's so many moving pieces, right? So again, comes to innovation. Once the idea is out the bag, this person could shoot it over there. This person could shoot it over there. They're making this good thing. Let's make it over here. It really could happen like that. There are probably stories like that. That's why you look at Uni, right? You would think, I mean, I don't know if you know the is it Oni or Uni? I think it's Oni, but yeah, the pizza, the first one that came out the gate. There's like a dozen brands out there these days, right? But that's almost the natural progression of the
Definitely, yeah.
right?
But when there's a successful product, there's gonna be other brands that are gonna come
Yeah,
up and try to compete with it or try to
yeah.
share some of the wealth with it. Um, but uh, I'm I'm just gonna ask you like fire some questions. Maybe we can go through it quick because I have a lot of information to
Okay.
cover and
Yeah.
you know. Uh, And I can talk to you for hours about this,
All right, brother. Can I
but
continue?
for the sake of to get the info, I think that's the most important part to get you on the next feature channel. Would like to answer some of those questions. So, how much did it cost you to design the logo and the packaging design for your product? Roughly, you don't have to give me exact numbers. You can give me rough estimates.
It is tough to answer that question because I could tell you it's $500, which it was a dinner meal because it was through our connections.
Okay,
It
so it was a friend. Yeah, just tell me
yeah.
what it was true for you. Like you don't have to tell me what it was equivalent to.
It was a
That's fine. If
it
you
was a
had a
handshake.
friend,
Yeah, it was a
yeah,
handshake.
we get
Yeah,
that a lot, you know. We talk to
yeah,
a lot of brand owners that have
yeah,
connections
yeah,
who are
yeah,
able to do it for free. So that's pretty cool, you know. That's good to know. And
yeah.
again, like this is a good message to our audience because sometimes someone in your network could
Yes,
help you build your brand. So
yes,
this is an important message to put out there, that you don't have to just go and pay a professional. I have cousins that are graphic designers. I don't have to go and pay 300
right.
bucks or 400 bucks to design a logo. I can just give my cousin a call and be like, "Hey, can you
Yes,
help me out? This is my idea," you know?
yes,
So so that's pretty cool. Um, and did you guys start a LLC or a DBA
yes.
while producing it? Did you do it yourself or did you
There
how
are
much did
so
it cost you to do it?
um
Did you pay like an agency to do it or a
yeah, I mean
lawyer?
we register everything online, and I believe yeah, it was like $49 a year for the agent, and then we'll open a bank account with $500 deposit with Bank America. It did not cost much
Okay.
when we filed it. I don't remember exactly how much did it cost? Maybe $500, I think, to whatever fee that they charge at the time. Yeah, everything was just kind of online to get things going. So that's what we did. Yes. So yes, to answer your question, yes.
Okay, cool. And did you get a barcode yourself too? Did you buy a barcode for the product like UPC or GS1? Um,
That's a good question. I don't even know how all of that really works. When Google, barcode generator, of course, the right one, because a lot of it pump out different weird things, unscannable, or so we just pumped it out. Same thing. Designer laid it out, and then it's on every it's on all our boxes. Give me one. Yeah. So that's what we did. Everything which is we don't come from money. So whatever everything we did was kind of guerrilla style, meaning
mm,
that we just got things done, you know,
yeah.
and yeah, that's kind of what we did. Yeah. So we did
Um,
that. We did that, and when we were making the product, we just sent to a printer factory that we worked with in the past, and they just print out these sticker labels for us. Yeah.
yeah. Did you guys buy those barcodes? The UPC codes?
Again, I don't know how that.
Okay.
I did it. I did for one of them, but everything that we have, buying those barcodes, I myself don't even know what that enables you. Right now, currently, we know that it's able to recognize in our own system that we could keep an inventory, but I don't know if I did purchase one to test it out, but I don't even know what that does. So does that mean when I scan it that it's in the world that it pull up different information? I don't know. So that's a good question. I don't
Yeah,
even
it
know.
just gives your product its own barcode identity in
Yeah.
the world of e-commerce, basically. So no one
Thank
can
you. We
use.
don't even have that. Our barcode is just whatever that is scannable, and then that we made, and it's being used on Amazon. It's being used by our own warehouse, and pretty much that's yes.
Okay, we recommend our audience to go to gs1.com
Yeah,
to
yeah.
purchase their
Right.
UPC codes from over there. It's a legit, reliable
Okay.
website for e-commerce barcodes called gs1.com.
Okay.
And there it's about $30 a
Yeah.
barcode,
Yeah.
because people used to do that. They used to buy barcodes off of like eBay or
Yeah.
download a bunch of them on Google or
Yeah.
something. But we've heard some issues that can rise because of that. So GS1 is more reliable. It's your barcode. It's attached to your name or linked to your name or your brand, so nobody can steal it from you, kind of thing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I only did it for one. I was like, okay, what does this do? No, thank you. Okay.
No,
And see,
absolutely.
after yeah, how many years we in? We don't even. So yeah, no, thank you.
No, I
So
get it. When you're first starting, it's a lot to go through. You're not gonna remember all the details. And this is one of the reasons why we do this interview before the featured video, because it helps you go over the details a little bit. Um, because most of the time you're just like you're not gonna recall everything, and this is kind of like walking down memory lane a little bit and
yeah.
just asking those questions. What about photos and product photos and product listing photos and all of that? Did you guys do it yourself, or did you hire a
Oh,
photographer, a graphic designer to do
oh,
it?
that yes, that costs. How much did that cost? I gotta check. Maybe 1,500, if not.
Okay.
Yeah, that did cost because it. We went after somebody. I wouldn't say reputable, but they do quality work,
Okay.
and yeah, got a studio, and we had to prepare food. We had to rent the space where there's an oven and lighting, and you
It
know,
was a
clean-
professional.
yeah, it was a professional for. So that's, I mean, you got to look the part, right? At
Yeah.
so with that we did spend. Yeah, yeah. I think it was even more than $1,500. I gotta see to put all of that together. Yeah,
Mm.
food and everything, and then we have three different colors, so all the shots have to done no. So yeah, that did cost. Yes, but that's something you can't skim on. I do not think it's not like creating a piece of content. It could be, you know, glitchy and people won't care your content is good, it's good. But with this, yeah, yeah, it's gotta look the part.
Oh, 100%. I agree. I think product photos are one of the most important aspect. That's the first
Yeah,
thing people see. So,
yeah,
you know, and did you use those for Kickstarter and for your website and
yes,
all
yeah,
of that?
correct.
Um, and did you set up Amazon as well, or was that,
Yes,
yeah?
yes,
So
yeah.
your initial launch was on Amazon too?
After yes, what are we did our website, and after that, yes, it was Amazon. We did
Okay.
we yeah we did more crowdfunding campaigns, in overseas, and then we were listed on Amazon. Yeah, but it was tricky because we were listed on there for a while, but we couldn't sell. Why we couldn't sell? Because we didn't fulfill our pledges. Why we didn't fulfill our pledges? Because shipping was out of control, so we couldn't afford to ship a container. Things that
Wow.
cost, I think, like 3,000 regularly, it was like a 10,000. We were like, we can't
Wow.
do that. Yeah,
What
and
what was your first inventory order, or how much was it? How much did it cost, and what was the quantity? Your initial
inventory. No, it was the 4,000 units. So
so
it
your
took,
initial order was 4,000
yeah,
units.
we were able to put it, yes. So
That's
yeah,
after the mock-ups, the samples.
correct.
Okay.
That's what we raised with Kickstarter. I think we placed like maybe 5,000. So that's another thing crucial with Kickstarter. I think we keep on going back to Kickstarter
Excuse
because I
me.
think it's really it's such a useful thing on so many fronts.
Definitely.
This is the other front. It enables you to place an order with the manufacturer. You're not doing 100 pieces, you're not doing 50 pieces. You're actually placing an order like these large manufacturers would place an order. So with the backers that we were able to place an order, I believe was 5,000 units because I think we were so close. So it was like we know we'll be able to you know sell it one way or another after the initial fulfillment. But that did take, I think, a year for us to fulfill all the
Do,
pledges.
do you know how much it was costing you per unit?
It was expensive. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That's why I said we lost. We didn't make any money. If anything, we also had to put in more money because we were scared. People didn't want it. Okay, in terms of how much it costs, that's something I don't think I would be. I think roughly initially it was probably like $50 with
It was
everything that's involved, and then getting to the U.S. shipping. Of course, that number has altered uh now since, but it was roughly, if not more, when we placed the order. So
$50 per unit. So you guys spent almost $250,000 on the first inventory order.
so
That's
that's why.
amazing.
So you calculate that, right? With that
Yeah,
tooling tool, so the $400 is gone, and then not
right.
to mention whatever advertising, of course, we had to spend to initially to get the product jumping. We definitely spent some money there as well.
And
So
that's not including the shipping, right?
that's not including the shipping. So yeah, and the international shipping was it was also out of control. 75 different countries. We didn't know how much it cost to ship it to all these different places, and it was definitely more. So, but again, it was no, it's great branding, marketing, advertising. It gives you a great resume. All these people now know about RotoQ 360, so it's a great head start. So we don't regret it one bit. And yeah, so that's kind of how much it costs, and I'm not even joking initially. Yes, so it was quite expensive. Yeah,
Yeah. No, it's amazing. How much did it cost you to ship to the warehouse?
it was. I believe we waited until it was about 6,000 a container, which is still expensive, 6 to 8, because it was really out of control. Yeah, it was. Yeah, because that's the time when everybody was trying to ship masks, all these medical, all these cleaning, sanitizing things. So if you're trying to get something here, it's better be a value and yeah. So I think we waited. That's why it took a almost, yeah, I think Christmas, the following year, we were still shipping out pledges. So we had to wait until that wave kind of came down.
Oh,
And then,
wow.
yeah, because it just skyrocketed 3 4 folds shipping. So I think it
So
was, yeah, at
so your
least,
product was ready, but you
yeah,
waited
we
before you
couldn't
shipped it.
we couldn't ship. We couldn't,
Wow.
and that's why the updates, the communication with your backers is very important. A lot of times people can't be understanding, but you just got to be there. They want someone there to kind of answer them, to let them know, this is what we're dealing. So a lot of time we were giving them first hand updates or real time updates. When the container first came in, same thing with my iPhone, my tripod. I'm there unloading the container. I'm letting guys know, hey guys, this is the latest update. We just got our first batch. We're gonna fulfill the U.S. customer first, and then we're gonna go by the sequence of the people that was ordering, and then until we got to the internet, the Australias, the UKs, the Germany, the France, and then
Wow.
to, yeah, and then the Asias. We had Korea, we had Japan, we had Thailand, we give them like real time updates. So just keeping people engaged a lot of times, and people are more understanding when it comes to Kickstarter, backing something new, backing something innovative, and yeah. So that was to answer the question. That's how much it costs. Yeah, a container, and then I believe one container fitted. I think we shipped like 3 containers, like with each time. So yeah, it was probably $20,000.
$20,000 for
Not more.
shipping?
Yeah, from US, from manufacturer to our warehouse in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah.
And and did you then ship it to Amazon warehouse?
That came later. That we really started selling on Amazon last year.
Oh, okay. So that was until later.
It was until later.
What
It's
what what did you sell on first? Just your website? Is it
Yeah, we just
Shopify?
we just we just had things listed. We had a slowdown period where what
Is your website on Shopify?
we use WooCommerce, but yeah,
WooCommerce. Okay.
that's what was set up, and yes, that's what we did. And I'm trying to figure out the timeline when it comes to sales, because we had to almost stay quiet for a little bit because we didn't want to alarm folks that we're still here making content, and then people would be like, where's my product? So we kind of laid low for a little while until everything was kind of fulfilled while keeping them updated. And oh yes, and then we had no inventory. I I kind of there was a gap where we didn't we kind of stopped making content. We so all the momentum we kind of built died down, and then it was last year we kind of picked things back up again after everybody. All the fulfillment has been we're at like 99%. There was like few stragglers out there. We're like, okay, we're now in good shape. Now let's go out, do it again. So we built it back up. It was last year, and then we went back to the Chicago Houseware Show.
Mm,
We presented ourselves again, guerrilla style. What did we do? I mean, some of these might not be good to hear. We landed, rented a nice like large SUV. Was also the designer friend. He was I mean he's more of like a business partner. This is a guy I spent like the past 10 years of my life. I am where he was. He was where I am. Like I see him more than my own family. He's always we're living together. So yeah, it was like a kind of brother situation. So he was with me and first stop landed. We need a booth setup. IKEA. We bought all the things we needed to make it look professional, but and then of course we did not use because if you do any type of trade show, if you use their services, oh, sometimes if let's say we're in California, shows in Chicago, it could cost $500 from to ship a pallet, whatever they truck it from Los Angeles to Chicago. It would cost just as much, if not more, from outside the gate onto the trade show floor because it's unionized. So of course we like to save, having no money to spend. What we would do, we found, little door somewhere underneath where nobody's looking, crack the door open, unload everything, and then get a dolly and just truck it up there, get in trouble, but who cares?
no,
Yeah,
Union wouldn't like that.
no, they do not. You're trying to, that's so, but yeah, so that's what we did. We popped it
Yeah,
up, and some of these stuff, if people want to look, there are photos there that people could see how it looks. It looks pretty legit. Um,
nice.
yeah, and of course, we're able to meet with a lot of large retailers to get more understanding of wholesale, retail, what type of margin they're looking for, what do they want. Of course, now at this point, everything's kind of in shape. People will be like, oh, let me take it over. Let me sell it for you. I'm like, I think that boat has sailed for us. We took all this way, made a name for ourselves. Look at what we have, and now you want to try and brand it on your own. We're number one. Serious people coming from overseas. We're number one in UK. Yeah, and then they're trying to buy it at the cost, which like as if
Oh,
manufacturer, like not expecting, not respecting us as a brand, which it's okay. Of course, that's the world you live in. You got to be able to swim in these waters. You got to swim these sharks to see
yeah.
where it's coming from, right? But we do have QVCs. We do have the um what is that? There was a couple um other retailers as well.
So the how much was the selling price initially when you first start selling it?
Initially, when we had it on Kickstarter, it was listed at 105. Of course, we want the early backers, right? So we're like 49.99.
49.99 for the
I think
early
so.
birds,
Early birds. And then that capped off maybe the first 100 and then went to like 65, 75. We keep on like, uh,
increasing it
increasing it. And then till today, the retail is at 150. And that's the
50.
yeah, and even that, it's something we're still trying to figure it out.
Mm,
People are purchasing, and of course, all the large retailer comes to us. 100. This is out the park. We know. Of course,
so
we want to make it 100 as well. We know
right.
it's an easy buy, right? 100 is kind of like anybody, but we can't make it work. We would love it to if we're making maybe when we're really at that pace, we're making 1 million units, then we could then go back to the manufacturer, give it us to for the low. for $20 a unit or something, then maybe we could sell it at 100, because even
Start
on Amazon, you guys know Amazon, you can sell something for
selling
100.
wholesale.
Yeah, even on Amazon, you sell it for 100, for example. What do you really take back? 65, at the end of all the fees, really? And then that's just Amazon, not to, the all the other costs to get it to the warehouse, then ship it to Amazon, all the costs involved. So, and then you're trying to advertise a little bit, where is that budget going to come from? So currently for us, it's direct to consumers. It's at 150. We do a lot of times we do run promotions, specials, to give discounts to folks, to give back where we can. We do a lot of giveaways. Currently, yeah, we have a basic model which is at 150, and we have a family bundle which comes with all the accessories, the basket, the uh there's a cage for all your fish and your steak or pork chops, and then there's a skewer set for all your kebabs and all the mixed vegetables. And yeah, so the family bundle, it's a more of a value pack, and that's actually our most popular model, because people want the whole, the whole shebang. They could cook everything on it. So then
Wow.
then that's at 199, and we do give a 1 year warranty for our product, so that if it fails on you, then it's on us.
Mm.
And typically, I'll share. I'm sorry, you have a lot of. Go ahead, continue. Sorry.
No, no, it's all good.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, did you use the first inventory order to fulfill your Kickstarter orders?
Yes.
And so that was about 4,000. I remember you said
Yeah.
it was about 4,000 orders. So that leaves you with another thousand
Or
units.
yeah, we order 5,000, and then yeah, so we had some spare. That's when we also yes. So then of course then went on to Indiegogo.
Mm.
Once you're hot, everybody wants you. You're like the hot bitch in school. Sorry for the word, but when people, you could feel the heat. You can feel the eyeballs. So that's a good feeling. But yeah, anybody get that feeling? Just know it's happening. Be aware, and how to make that moment last as long as possible. Just like any celebrities, they sometimes somebody's could be, flaming, just like the hot tour girl, right? She needs to make her moment last as long as possible, and then maybe to even innovate after that, so you could make a real business from that situation. So to answer your question, yes, we then went on to Indiegogo to take advantage of the situation, and then to continue to keep the train going. And then of
Mm.
course we were getting, they don't call it backers on Indiegogo, they call it contributors. So we continue to then, after that concluded, we hop on to Indiegogo. They welcomed us, because what we did, everybody take notice. If you get to a certain numbers, people take notice. So luckily they took notice. So we were able to jump on their platform, and then to continue that train, and then to yeah,
What did you set the price on Indiegogo?
it was a little. I gotta go back. It was more. I think we went off. I think we started like at 85, and the family bundle was like 105 when we start.
Mm.
Because we still didn't know the true value of what we bring at the end. Yes, to answer your question, yes. And then from there, then I believe it went to 99, and then 125 for the family. And we also have a Pitmaster, which comes with a foldable grill, so that's like 155. And then yeah, so that's kind of what
So,
we
so did that help you place your second inventory order?
yeah. Then there was actually a little bit more money like left after we get the order. Because before there was no money left. I mean, I just did the simple math. You could already see there's no money. We definitely had to, put in more money to kind of, which we did. But yeah, so that enabled us to kind of trickle manufacturing. We're able to, I believe, they still were MOQ, because you're dealing with tooling. You're dealing with tooling, you're dealing with production lines. They're not gonna line people, to a production line if the production is gonna be finished in a week. Uh,
What did you do with the extra inventory that was left from the Kickstarter orders? Did you sell those on your website, or did you keep them and move them to Indiegogo to
Yeah.
fulfill your Indiegogo orders?
Yes, it was Indiegogo, and it was Indigo. I don't think our website was even um, up yet because you had to, get a design as simple as people Shopify, all that. We like to still make it our own. So, the design aspect come in, and of course, some type of the templates, right? Got together, and then all right, shopping carts. What are we offering? The Stripe, we got to get that in place. So that took a little bit longer. So while you go to Indiegogo, kind of you plug in your information, everything's already there. So
How
we
much did you guys end up generating from the
it's
Indiegogo
another, I
campaign?
think the total was like 600,000 from there. It was more.
600,000.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Another
So,
successful, but
yes.
that must have been a better um, return on your investment
Yeah,
because now everything is set in stone and you've raised the prices a little bit.
yeah,
Now you have some momentum.
yeah.
So you were able, how much did you place for your second order?
Indiegogo was more it was more a trickle effect. We're able to fulfill them. I think was another I think it was another like 5,000, but it was like a slow trickle. People could now even till this day place an order on Indiegogo with us because we're now in that other category. It's called in demand, where people you could still get but most people it's so kind of far down the search list that every but we leave it there still. If people can find it, we leave it there. There's still a great discount there. But yeah, so it kind of allowed us to keep the kind of the engine going. So it was like 2,500 and then 2,500, and then all along this time we're trying to also improve the product because we start now the product's in people's hands. We're not getting feedbacks, after going through heavy uses in different conditions. So yeah, all of that kind of and also with these folks, the if you're talking about reviews or the feedback, the comment are more forgiving, than your hard Amazon 1 star. Thing, this product is shit, you know. So
Right, right, right.
you know what I mean? So all of that it was still a testing ground. Yeah. So to answer your question, yeah, we were able to carry. So from up until I think 2021, and even Indiegogo, we were having trouble fulfilling because of the rising costs. Like it would hit waves in terms of like the shipping. It was shot up 1 point. So also that took some time.
Yeah, the shipping. So this was in 2021.
I believe it was 2021. It was
Yeah,
months. Yeah, it was later. Yeah.
that's when the shipping was really high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So all along, I mean, the timeline, I don't, yeah. So it was during like we had to wait, we fulfill, we wait, we fulfill, we wait, we fulfill, and then kind of similar with Indiegogo, we will kind of set the dates, and then the ones we were able to fulfill, we'll close our campaign and then start a new one. So that's kind of how the way with Indiegogo, it was a little bit more free for us to operate. And same thing, similar. We updates for folks whenever there's a delay, whatever the really reason was. We'll take photos on the factory full of the pallets just sitting there. We made the products; they're real. Because as soon as people don't get a product, they will say you're a scam. We'll
right.
take product, and then and some people are really savvy as well. They know how to track these boats. So we had to give our vessel number. They were tracking it to make sure it's real. So like all along the way, we also gave them like real time. They just want people there. They want answers. If they can't have the product, the least that they could get is somebody there, getting back to them. So that's crucial. Continue.
Yeah. How many units or how many backers did you have on Indiegogo
I think
on
it
the
was
first campaign?
6,000. Then it was like six. Yeah,
6,000.
yeah,
And that was for the first campaign.
yeah.
What about so that
I
was
actually, it was an add-on. I believe what they did, they took the four, and then we end up to be 6, 8. So it was actually 2 to 3,000 more people on Indiegogo.
Sorry, can you say that again?
When we hopped over to Indiegogo, I believe they did take some of the data from our Kickstarter. So it was an add-on to that. I think we ended up to be close to 7,000 backers.
7,000 backers on
Awesome.
Indiegogo.
Yeah.
That's apart from Kickstarter.
No, that's what I meant. It was an additional three. They
Oh,
combined.
I see.
Yeah, they
Got
combined.
it. Got it. Got it. Oh, okay. That's good to know that they add that to
But
Indiegogo.
that's the other thing I like to share. Maybe this don't have to be in there. And some of the pitches when we went to like Kickstarter, we actually kept them separate. You know, because in all honesty, nobody really knows if
Yeah.
you look at it. But since we're having a conversation, where to these creators, to all these people, use it to your advantage. All these information because people puff themselves up anyways, right? So and what I'm saying is actually all factual. You go on Indiegogo, you'll see 6,000 backers. You go on Kickstarter, you'll see 4,000 backers. So,
Yeah.
but I'm giving you the real, which is fine. I have no problem with that.
And with that order, you guys made a lot more money because you did not have to pay all the built up cost, the
Correct.
building of the mold,
Correct.
the sampling, none of that.
Yeah.
So all these orders were strictly sales.
Yes.
So it worked in your benefit in that sense, and it left you with a lot more profit than your first order with
We were
Kickstarter. After you filled up your Kickstarter order,
correct.
now you're left with, you know, uh, my guess here, and this is like what the numbers are giving me here, is did you guys make approximately about a $250,000 in profits after Indiegogo?
No, no.
Okay.
Um, I would say I th- I gotta go back and look, but we did have we I think trying to think. Let's say that let's say that's an okay number. I'd say that's an okay number. Yes. Um, but actually what we always got stuck with was shipping.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because we never anticipated that shipping. So yeah, I believe on numbers, those are number. I think we did look at that. I was like, okay. Now there's actually a little bit of money. We could actually do other things. You know, there's that we could, and then it went to
So
uh
what that allowed you to do is it allowed you to purchase your second inventory
correct.
order,
Yeah,
which cost about $250,000.
yeah,
So now you're basically covering your cost up price.
yes,
Yeah. So once you place your third inventory order, excuse me, once you place your third inventory order, did you fulfill again on Indiegogo, or did you guys go on live on your website at that point? When was it when you went live, either
the
on
website was always
e-commerce or Amazon?
the website was always there. Same thing with Amazon, right? That actually no, it's a good point. Indiegogo. It was because the Indiegogo. Now that we fulfill all the Kickstarters, right? Now there's the Indiegogo. So that's why we couldn't really advertise or do anything because we would be like, we're waiting for our contributions. Why are you selling? And so that's kind of what we were. Yeah. So that was a period that we kind of when we're talking now kind of bring back. Yes. So no, definitely Indiegogo. We had to fulfill them, and yeah, there were a couple of thousand of backers on that platform as well. And then we fulfilled them with time, and it was really costly for us to ship, especially countries like Australia, where it costs 125 to ship a family bundle down that way. So it was that, and then while all this is happening, we're able to
Wow.
situate our what is that called? Our website, kind of get Amazon rolling, at least get all the things kind of, all we had to do is kind of update the quantity type. So yeah, so those things was all in the back end, right? People are able to purchase, but we never really advertised because we don't want these Indiegogo folks is like, hey, the product's available, bro. Why am I why why are you guys not fulfilling my order? So yeah, so it wasn't until so that took it up to us to 2022 actually, we were still fulfilling Indiegogo backers. And
Got it.
then yeah, it was then 2023 that we Indiegogo pretty much done. Then that's when we went to the show, got more information on how the real industry works, in terms of all the buying and selling and all this, that. And then June of last year, it's when we then realized it's still us. We cannot rely on anybody else to try and push and promote our brand, our product for us. Then that's when we took off and attacked the world of social media. And then soon, immediate realized that is where it is at in today, 2024. I mean, even before today, it's really where it's at in terms of building a brand, building a presence, reaching out to folks. Because everybody, what do they got? No, not everybody's in front of a computer, but everybody's got a phone and they're scrolling through things. And this is the most effective way to really, you create something engaging, something eye-popping, something delicious looking, mouth-watering. Then people would be like, all right, I like, and let me find out more. So that's kind of when now we are, and then maybe that's how you guys reached out because of our efforts since last year. It's almost been a year that we've been at this, and also head in. We didn't really know what we were doing either. Yeah.
Yeah. So when was your official launch on your website or slash Amazon?
When was it? We really started selling last year. You could say January last year, really.
How was that like? What was the revenue? No units sold? Zero?
We have one pop, here and there. Yeah, website, same thing. We get excited if we sell like 10 units a month.
Wow.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? Yeah,
Okay.
because yeah, we didn't know the world PPC who, and went to the show. A lot of experts. I'm an Amazon expert. I work for this large company. I do this, I do that. I have an agency. But you gotta sign contracts, 2,500 a month. You gotta sign
Right.
a year. You know,
Right. Right.
I work for this large company. And based on what I've looked at, I'm gonna need $8,000 a month. We don't even make $8,000 a month. What are you talking about? But I'm not saying that they're not legit. But these are
Right.
the professional that's coming at us, telling us
Yeah.
what they could do. I'm like, dude, and this is before we have to spend money on PPC. I gotta pay you to help us do that. It could be justified. There are $1 million company that are really paying these folks that type of money because of their expertise, know how to navigate this world, the jungle of Amazon. But
Yeah.
we did not. You know, we ended up finding some folks, and yeah, and just kind of slowly, learning our kind of easing our way in a little bit. Yeah. And even till
So
today, I still don't understand it.
so what changed? What made you guys so you guys went hard on your content creation
Yes.
game and try to build a community and a brand on social
Correct.
media?
Correct.
And when did you start seeing the numbers increasing and um
Um,
when what changed in terms of sales and numbers?
no, from there you could kind of start then seeing ticks, because from all of some of these things, I don't think I'll be revealing exact numbers if that's okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's fine. So like January was
no,
0 to 1.
I think from all of last year, we were looking at it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think even up until June, I think we were happy if we hit 10 a month, honestly, or a week. I don't remember, but the number was really, there were days that if their Amazon order coming, we'll be like, ooh, because
Wow.
it wasn't every day that we get a sale. It was not.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not. I mean, granted that we didn't promote anything yet, right? There was no PPC being done. There was nothing. We didn't do anything at all. So whoever that was finding us, it was still from that community of Kickstarter, of Indiegogo, or however somehow landed to Amazon, landed to our website. So it was that. And yeah, and it wasn't until last year our social media. I mean, once the views start going up, then you kind of see a correlation with that. We have one We have one video that went viral, our first very viral video
Excuse me.
from one of our, bless you. Sorry.
No, I'm overcoming a cold. That's why I keep coughing. But yeah, I try to mute my mic when I do, but sometimes it
Um,
slips out.
okay, you
Yeah,
gotta time
I
it.
apologize about that.
No, 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 we good. Our first viral video, yes, it was a content creator, Bentley BBQ. Went viral. I believe it went for like 3.9 million views on TikTok. I was like the best thing in the world. I was like, oh my
Mm,
god, again, all along the way, right? That people are reacting to this, so we know all along the way. Maybe the sales doesn't, translate, and we're not the biggest selling brand, but all along the way, there is like kind of validations that okay, people there's a reason why people are responding to this. There's a reason why, Kickstarter, and then Indiegogo, and then Shark Tank reached out to us wanting us to be on. Of course, I messed up, which later on helped me to get on this other show because how I messed up on Shark Tank, and I was like, okay, I know where I messed up, but no. And then when you see the correlation, then you kind of, if you were to look at on your phone, then you kind of see they have the graph, then you kind of see a spike, and then kind of, so then that's when we know, okay, people do respond to um to videos, to a viral video. People definitely respond to that. It's just not content, even though people are not looking to purchase things like when you're directly advertising on Amazon, but there's still a correlation. The conversion might be 0.00 whatever, but when you go viral, there definitely is a correlation. You do see a tick, especially sometimes when you work more closely with one person and you kind of schedule out events, when to post all that stuff, and you could see it when something's posted, something is going, or they you start seeing ding 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 ding, then you could see all right correlation between that. So again, then that's where I say social media, it's really important. And when you work with larger creators, definitely you will have to pay to play, right? With some of them. But at the same time, this is something you could do on your own. You don't have to start out just gunning after the million, you know, follower creator to have them show your product. You could do that on your own. And it is true. TikTok has more probability of you going, you going viral with very little followers. You just got to create engaging content. And what's the cost? Nothing,
when
right?
when did you start seeing your sales go up on?
I believe it was like the third quarter of of last year when we started reaching out more creators. And I mean, even that's in art, right? To art form to kind of reach out to people and then try to get them to review your product or showcase your product in their content. So um, what is a benefit in the content creation world? I would say is that a lot of these folks, they might have huge followings. I mean, if you're talking about like the Gordon Ramsay of the world, or like a Uncle Roger of the world, where you could obviously see that there's a team behind them. A lot of it are just everyday folks. They love to cook, they do enjoy the attention, and there's not really a corporate structure. If I have a million followers, you got to give me $10,000. No,
Mm,
a lot of it is just really peer to peer. If you're genuine, you have something, you got a story, you're a small business, and where you come from, they could see it. And sometimes people are really down to help out, So it's really, I do also credit a lot to this creator community. Yes, people show love. And even somebody that might typically charge you 10 grand for the million followers, because coming from where we came from,
excuse me.
bless you, coming from where we come from, they're able to offer you a better deal because they see what you're trying to do. that what you come from. So I do love that. So yes. So to answer your question, we're starting June when we start reaching out to more creators, and then uh we started to become like almost everywhere, not everywhere, but we started to make a presence. We made a sense to when we started Kickstarter. We were in the kitchen world, right? Because we wanted to be in the oven. We cooked so many different things. Of course, we went into the backyard to cook certain things, but the focus was kitchen. And it was last year that when we kind of went into the world of barbecue. And then that's when we find our target demo. That was kind of when we kind of start seeing numbers jump a little bit, sales start to come in a little bit more. We were it we were we, it became no it became that we're happy to get a sale a day. And then I think maybe from we started in June. That I think we went back May, June. That's when we started the outreach and then getting the products to people's hands. It was like June, July, August, kind of the momentum starting to build. So it was like the third quarter. And then by like 3 months in, was 3, 4 months in, I think we had our first viral video. And then I think we were then kind of with the quantity, I would say we were starting to maybe average like a sale a day. There was no day that we went on without a sale. So we felt all right. There's from average.
Which month was that?
I don't really know, but I think it was like starting the third quarter. That
Third quarter. Okay, so
yeah,
like roughly
right around,
October.
yeah, right around there. That was like okay. I think at least there were a sale every day. Yeah, and we were happy with that also.
Mm,
Yeah, to have that, yeah, that to meaning that okay, then we know. And if not every day, there would if we were averaged out a month, there were definitely more days of having a sale than the days with no sales.
nice. And how far has these numbers have gone up? Are you still at the same rate, or has it gone up since then?
I would say it gone up this year. Um, and then
So you're at,
Christmas last year, like 2 days before. Hey, are you still here?
yeah, I'm here.
Gotta move control.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we finished last year strong. Another video went viral, and then we went through kind of all of our inventory, which I did not know how many we had, but we went through. And then so it's kind of then this year that we kind of have a cushion where before we kind of have to sow through our inventory before we could place the next order or have the ability still like the uh now it was more
So are you doing like pre-orders?
I'm trying to we went from yeah, selling through Kickstarter and then pre-order, right? And then able to play the pre-order for Indiegogo, and then to have some left inventory that we were able to. I'm trying to make sure it makes sense that when okay then we're starting to build enough a cushion that I think as soon as a container, whether it was 1,000 units, I mean, we weren't shipping like full containers all the time. It's like, this container could be a 20-footer, it costs a lot less, and then we're able to ship 1,000 units, something like that. So we're able to then kind of when a shipment arrives, then they could kind of we could place the next order, because it takes about 45 days, sometimes even 60 days if they're slow. So we want to also keep that train kind of, because once the manufacturing stops, if you don't keep it going, then yeah, it's also a problem too. They got to restart the machines, workers got to come back. So yeah, so slowly that we're able to kind of build a slow momentum of manufacturing as well, so that the product doesn't so that we're not without product at any given moment, so that if it's about to sell out or we're running low on inventory, the next container is kind of coming already, so we kind of built that. So we don't have to wait until this sells out so that we have enough money to pay for the next one. So yeah, so it was like this year, that's kind of the trend that we're able to have some inventory here
Mm,
and then have manufacturing kind of going over there. Yeah.
yeah, 7,000. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How much did you when did you sell out, did you say, of the second inventory order? Was that in December of last
It
year,
was
or
December last year. Yeah.
so what was the sales in
We didn't
December?
even have that much inventory left. I think maybe two couple hundred units left. To us, that was a lot to have to have inventory there to go through while there was. So the point was that like it went out quickly.
Mm,
Usually 200 units. I don't even know, between the website that will last us a month more. Two, I don't even know. Like we were selling, but we weren't moving. Like yeah, we again, we were just happy all last year. We were happy to average a sale a day. That was at least on Amazon, or combined. If they would have a sale on the website, sell on Amazon, great. That's to us that was a win. And then I think, and then some days there will be 4 or 5. Maybe it was just really like trickling baby sales. And then this year, yeah. So last year, what we had anticipate, I think we had a couple hundred units. It was like, oh, for sure, this would cover the holidays. There's no way we go from a couple of units a day to. So it kind of, but all of that kind of happened, right? It was October, we were running specials. And then November, Thanksgiving, things kind of picked up. And then it was kind of just, it just kind of building. But then when that happens, of course, it doesn't mean it continues to just go out of control. No, it slowed down right after Christmas. We're like, fuck, we're back in the same place. Nobody shopping. What's happening? So I always have this fear that at any moment this could be almost like swept away from under my feet, like gone. So there's always still that fear as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. Yeah. So I'm never too content or satisfied or like too comfortable. Be like, okay, we won. No, we made it. No. So yeah.
what's your MOQ with the manufacturer at the time? Can you order less than 5,000 units?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, answers the answer is no, right? If you
Okay.
were but because of our relationships, because some of the parts that we have, they're very specialized. There's no way they can make 500 at once, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
they do have to make 5,000. Make even actually some of the things they have to make 10 because
Mm,
the process of making these parts it had it otherwise it doesn't make sense for them to turn the machine or to switch the other product to make our product. Like they also calculate their costs as well, to switch off from making this where they making like millions to switch it off and put ours on, and then to kind of make this 5,000 and then put it off, and then like to them all of that is lost time, lost money, right? So that's how they calculate.
yeah.
So
Can
but
you Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
no. So we were placed again. We're always tight on money. Tight, 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 tight. There's never money in our bank. Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we will have to make the sales and then place the order. And then, of course, we don't have the money to pay for 5,000 in one shot. So we would be like, okay, let's get 1,000 here. We would, whatever they call it LTL, to kind of bundle it with the container sometimes. All right, let's get 1,000 in. So we kind of trickle it. And then because we do have boots on the ground, they are there. We do have that, and that's another reason why we chose who we chose to work with, because of relationship like this. Normal factory wouldn't do this, you know. So we're able to kind of working and kind of playing, and plus that they already spend all this time kind of development with us as well. So we're able to kind of play, and then I think these days now, I think in at the end of the month we will have a 40-foot container come in. And yeah, and we also just recently sold out as well because we went viral again, and for July 4th. Yes.
Oh, that's
america
great.
America
That's
loves
true,
chicken.
that's true.
Yeah,
Independence Day is a big day for barbecues.
yeah.
Can
So
you
this one,
share with me the numbers for 2024? How much do you guys sell this year?
for this year, how much do we sell? I think between our website, and Amazon or Amazon. Hold on. Let me check really quick.
Sure. Are
Um,
Amazon sales doing better now? Are the numbers going up?
yes and no. We do have sale every day. We're able to. I don't think I'll give you units. I won't give you dollar amount. Um,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. I mean, you can also get a ballpark.
Yeah, that will
I
help.
don't think we were at we did not average. I don't think we were selling more 100 units per month. I don't think so. There would be days that maybe we would sell 10 units, and that's for us. Our so our benchmark or what we see, that makes us happy before from 0 units, right? To before was to, oh, if we get one sale a day, we're happy, and then to averaging more than you're averaging a sale a day, and then to kind of averaging 10 sales a day. Like, okay, if it's combined Amazon and our website and wherever, because there are also other small platform that's out there, sometimes we will get a ping here and there. So if we get 10, that's a win. So we're like, okay, if we 10, and then if it's 30 days, so if we're like average 100 units a month, we're like super happy. But we did not do that January or February. And I think March, April to second quarter, I think a couple months that we did average that. So we were really happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. And then of course I think July, whatever, 300 units. I don't even I don't because we have a unit, we have bunch of back orders from the sale. So that's what I could share with you in terms of our sales. Yeah.
So would you say like you guys may have sold 600 units this year so far?
I could, yes, that I could share. Yes. I would say.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, that's huge improvement from last year from from getting organic sales, and and that's the website plus Amazon, right? The numbers.
Yes, I would say more, but but I wouldn't. I would like to keep it reserved to how much more we are. Uh,
Okay,
yeah. But yes, we are over. We did average over 100 units a month. I can
great.
share that. Yeah,
That's great. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Congratulations on that. That's definitely you guys worked so hard to get to this point. I mean, I can imagine just what you've been through and
yeah,
how much dedication and resilience that had to take to get to where you are right now. So that's really inspiring, and I appreciate you sharing all this information with us. I mean, again, it's not to these numbers are basically going to help us just to share
yeah,
the journey with other people who are starting to see what it looks like. That's the only
yeah.
that's the only reason behind it. And I don't want to keep you longer here, even though like I can talk to you, for hours about this and have so many questions. Um, but I would like to kind of end this on a different note,
Yes.
and maybe we can end it with what are three mistakes that you guys have made in starting this a whole thing that has cost you money?
I was thinking about that question when I was looking at it. Um, One would be, you almost have to, again, when they say, people say, right, fake it till you make it. This is not, I wouldn't say it. I mean, you definitely, at any point, you definitely want to, puff your chest up a little bit, right? Any given situation. In a fight, you want to, chest out. You don't want to, for the most part. But one of the thing that actually did cost us money was more recent was, putting your trust into others. You could almost all you could I would say you just want to trust, you will only want to trust yourself. Meaning that, for example, when we went to the show, right, we were thinking, to rely on Home Depot, Williams Sonoma, or whoever, Bed Bath and Beyond, right? Once we're if we get in, then yes, we're it. No, you cannot rely on other people to push things for you. No, everybody have their own best interests at heart, right? You are a tool to get them what they want for themselves. But if your goals might align. So at the end of the day, we put our trust into this other person. It gave us the runaround, took like $3,000 of our money and our flight from West Coast to East Coast to establish meetings that was for his own gain. He had a bunch of other things lined up, and we were just one of the things. And then while he's pitching us, like, he's giving us the gold mine. This is the person you want to talk to, and this and that. And then like right away, and then we didn't, yeah, then we did not see that person again after. It was yeah, the story, yeah. So yes, do not sometimes, but at the same time, one door closes, another open, because of the other opportunities came up because we were on the East Coast. We're able to do other things. So a lot of time, yes. So that's one mistake that caused us. It was gonna be 6,000, but we were smart enough, be like, you know what, we'll do three, and then we'll see what this happens. And then this guy, yeah, no. So
What did he promise you guys?
um
What did he offer? What was his
no, like, he has all these things lined up for us, to the largest retailer, infomercials. He able to, get us into just in front of faces of all these different things. You're gonna have a, what is that called? Not a brochure, but create something, like a deck for you, for us, and then all these things, all this work, and then till this day, there's nothing. We did get one meeting in there, and then yeah, the guy, whatever that he promised, yeah, it came short, like really short. That's what I would say. And yeah, yeah, and just the
okay.
whole picture, yeah, the picture he, yeah, he, what people would do is, of course, this guy's experienced in the field, right? He went to the show. He did to us what he did to many other people. I hope this person, he probably will never watch this, but he would come to all these upcoming brands. Oh, you're good. 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, maybe 10,000, 8,000. I think we were able to talk him down to, I think it was 8 or like 9,000. He said he cut off one of the payments. He was like 9,000, 9,000. So he lined up like five of us, right? And then to go
Uh,
do a show, and then we're paying for this, and then same thing. We go to the meeting, and we thought it was especially for us. No, he lined up like 4 or 5 other ones. So this is how he makes his living. Like, this is something we learned kind of after the fact. Like, oh, we just wanted the things, but it was just done sloppy. He could have,
wow.
yeah. So that's kind of the mistake I felt we made, to kind of entrusting us, and then yeah, to then gave us the runaround. It was me and my mother, actually, both. We flew to New York, to make this meeting happen. And the guy like leaves immediately after. He didn't even spend the evening there. It was like, okay, after meeting, let's discuss, what happened with that. Let's have a follow. We're both there. Let's sit down. And the guy just, I was like, oh, he's like, I gotta go. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? You flew us, we flew ourselves all the way out here and have this whatever, and then you're out. So yeah, so that was one mistake. The other mistake, same thing, working with influence, because a lot of these, because this, I know it's a simple question, but a lot of these, like, it's a continuation of things continuing to happen. If I didn't make this mistake, I would not arrive to this point. But so do I see that as a mistake? Sometimes not. Same thing with influencers. You're engaging with them. There's definitely ones we lost out on. Now we pay a heavy price. It did not come out how we want it, and then there's like thousands of dollars just gone. And yeah, mainly, yeah. I was trying to think if I, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have yeah,
No, that's fine. Take your time.
yeah. What else? There's definitely got to be plenty of mistakes we made along the way. Okay. The other one, just make sure you're costing us money. Some of these mistakes, I think it'll be costly down the road. How about that? Just make sure you're protected at all fronts. All right, a prevention, whether it's patents, which we have in development since 2019, and trademark. Just make sure you're protected as much as possible. The information lands in the wrong hands, you're gonna pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the other things, I don't know, man. There's so many mistakes I made from every day, but that was one large one that stood out because, again, not just the money. It took us from 6 hour flight, over there, and then one brief meeting, and we're out, and then the guy's out. I
Wow.
mean, right? Uh, so
Wow.
that was that. He has his own agenda. We were just one of them. We didn't work. He got four other ones lined up. Boom, 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 boom. You know, but if he had pitched it to us that way or share, he made it sure like, oh, it was for us, like you're that one, and then end up to be like we were lined up part of the 5 meetings. And then once we were out the way, he stayed and he finished all other meetings. And once all the meetings were done, he was done. So he didn't even bother to stay to meet with. So yeah, that was just that one. Mistakes. Just make sure you don't take everybody's, at their face value. Always, always,
Yeah.
always take at a discount. There's always you'd be happy that your goals align.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and this didn't really happen. If you establish a, it's difficult to establish any relationship. So once a relationship is established, you should keep that relationship, make sure it's good before you start a new one. Meaning, we not particular in this, but we've made mistakes in the past where we very difficultly established relationship. There was love there. They love pushing the product. And as soon as a big retailer come, it was like, oh shoot, they're big. Let's talk to them. And then as soon as that happened, these guys they were like they're out. So and then they didn't really work out because they're big. We're popping, we're the hot bitch, and then so we ended up losing the whole steal. So that was costly. I don't even know how, but so an example like that. Sometimes it's better to work with who you got and build from there than to go after somebody big and then they're just trying to also take advantage of you from whichever way they can. They see you as a dollar sign. They will just, what value do you have? What value can I extract out of you, before I put you aside onto the next one? So sometimes it's better to work like-minded folks, able to establish relationships. It's also difficult. This is a battlefield in the world of business. It's not easy to establish relationship. If you're able to establish one, keep that one, keep it growing, and it will go a lot longer. I'll say
Mm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. Definitely nurture the good relationships that
Yeah.
you've built. You
Yeah.
never know when it's gonna come in handy.
Yes. Honestly, that is very, yeah. I think those are two. Yeah. Otherwise, mistakes. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Again, see, I share that mistake immediately. I spent $3,000, but which I am not a privilege to share. But it because of that, the guy left. We ended up able because connections were able to land a much multiple larger situation because of that mistake. So if you're asking me now, if his ass didn't drag us out there and then he left and I was able to meet with other folks because I had time, and then that opportunity arrived. So sometimes I don't know how to explain, but yeah.
I'm thinking also maybe running out of inventory could have been another
Yes.
issue
Yes.
that
Great.
is
Yes.
costly.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, very. We're losing sales every day currently. Yes.
mm.
That hurts. And yeah.
And it's gonna take you 60 days to get more inventory.
Well, that is another situation, trying to manage the situation. See, we're at a stage where we're coming up with a new version, upgraded.
Mm.
We've listened enough that we intake, the positive, the negatives that we can, making a second generation, not quite like out of the world, but we are making a lot of improvements to what we have. So, well, okay, we're slowly phasing out what we have in our inventory. The new is going to be ready, and of course, the new is not ready as we anticipated, right? And so now we're rushing. Yes, but so this one was more on our end. Like we thought we had enough cushion. We're like, we're not gonna. Honestly, when you go viral, it's like winning a lottery ticket, right? And you don't think after you hit it one time, you're gonna hit it again. But we continue to hit the slots. I mean, of course, it's not like we put one. We have quite an amount of influencers now that we built up. Kind of, people that we send product to and people reached out. We have quite a few numbers, and plus now from June to definitely we've sent out quite a few products. So there's definitely a lot of content out there. So we did not anticipate, yeah, our lack of anticipation. But then, it's not like we have money to sit on inventory. But yeah, this one's on us. But luckily, it's not 30 days. It's actually the ship is it's actually in the ocean right now. So then we'll get it here. But yes, it's but sometimes this is a good problem, right? You sell out. That's beautiful. You're selling out more than you
Yes,
anticipated. Yeah.
that's some of the good problems to have in business.
Yeah.
But if you want to estimate it, how much money do you think it may have cost you to run out of inventory this month?
We ran out July 4th. Actually, like on July 4th, like everybody up until July 4th, we fulfilled. After that, we were unable to. I mean, on Amazon, no, on Amazon, there is no on Amazon, there is no back order. Amazon, you gotta put zero. No, people will ding you for that. So Amazon completely shut off. I mean, just because we've been attacking, and this is not just July 4th. We've been building it since Mother's Day, Father's Day, July 4th, we've been going hard. I'm talking about I mean, we're not spending $10,000 per month, expense like that, but we are definitely investing heavily. There are a couple influencers where we spend like over 1,000 per video. For us, that's a lot. For
Right.
us, in the 4 digit, that's a lot. Where we definitely don't have money. How many of those could we have? One, two. So there, and again, for us, that meaning that we're probably spending about 5, 6 market value, right? Because some of these folks, we do have a relationship. They're able to give us, be nice to us. So yeah, so we've been going hard. So totally, I think definitely I would say over, if I were to share, over 10,000 for the past, in terms of marketing. We definitely, you know, the product, the shipping, some of it overseas, we definitely spend some money in the area. So we've been building it up. And so how much we lost, I would say, if anything, at least if 10 units per day for the past 7 days. If I'm to say it just kind of roughly, the way we've been going, it's kind of been okay, right? I'm not saying we're selling, so many units, but yeah, at least, yeah, I would say, if not more. Yeah.
Times 200 unit, I mean, times 20 days, so approximately maybe 200 units until you get the next shipment and ship it to the warehouse. And
Yeah. The fall, yeah, the trickle down, yeah, maybe not, yeah, maybe at least 100 units, I would say. Yeah.
Mm,
To be safe, I don't want to, I don't need, yeah, I don't need to, yeah,
okay.
safely put 100. Yeah, that I am certain. We definitely probably lost our 100 units until, yeah, for the next 20 days. I mean, till the new shipment arrives.
And let's end this on a positive note.
Yes.
What are 3 lesson steps that you can share with someone who's starting new, that can help them on their journey, and that can help them overcome obstacles, or just help them stay, inspired and motivated, um, in what you've experienced? What would you tell your younger self getting started in all of this?
If you are, I mean, first off, I mean, if you're gonna do something, you better come correct. I hope that word correct, covers, you better know what you have, or if you're bringing value, if you're trying to do a business, um, and you can know that very in today's world, there's no reason why you couldn't do something. I would say, you don't know how to do this, don't know how to do that. Um, I don't think in today it's an excuse. There's somebody out there YouTube, Google, ChatGPT, you type in something, somebody out there is teaching you how to do that. So if you don't know how to do something, then just go figure it out. It's pretty simple. If the and First off, if you want to do something on your own, make sure you come correct. Meaning, whether it's the good product or good brand, you know, then do that. The second step is just create all your social media profiles. Go register everything. All of this is free. Okay, if you don't do this, then what the hell? And as soon as you do something, you could do on TikTok, you could do it on Instagram, you could do it on YouTube. All these are short format. And also I don't use Snapchat, and also Twitter, right? LinkedIn. All of these are free. Facebook, right? All these are free at your disposal, meaning to outreach to the world. So, and then, and also, okay, if you want to go back to another thing, just make sure you align yourself with people that are like-minded around you. Will Smith has this is quote from I heard from him, but you are, if you don't know who you are, just take a look at the five closest people around you. That's pretty much who you are. If you are on the negative spectrum of things, if you're surrounded by drug dealers, or people that don't do nothing all day, that's pretty much probably who you are. If you don't know who you are, these are your closest people. If your closest people are creative folks, this guy is in design, this guy does creative, this guy is in photography, this guy does, something else, creates his own company, then that's probably who you are as well. So then that is to help you to tell if you don't like who you are, then change your surrounding. So back to then, okay, if you really want to do something for yourself, make sure you come correct, and then make sure outreach to all your friends, whoever can help you, just get it going. And don't have to wait until it's 100% before you um before you launch it, before you release it to the world, I would say. Yeah. So one, come correct, and just do it. And then yeah, all the disposal in your fingertips. Just use them. Create again, social media. If you're trying to create something of your own, that is the play field. That is where you need to be at. Fortunately and unfortunately, look at all today. The world is about capturing attention. How do you capture attention? It's here. Why do all these, the Logan Pauls of the world, the Kai Cenats of the world, why are they? Because they have the attention. So if you're gonna do something, there are definitely many ways, but I would say in the world we live in today, definitely you want to capture the attention. And look at TikTok, how it's coming, the Timus, the TikToks coming after. I'm not coming after Amazon, but how they are making a noise. That the way TikTok works these days, my God, forget about PPC, right? I mean, some of these things. Again, I'm not saying, Amazon. I love it. I love what they do. We're on there, and then later on, later on you'll know a reason why. But yes, no, I love Amazon. But how TikTok is kind of coming up, right? They have the shop right away. You could it's direct, the live shopping. So yeah, come correct, make sure you're protected, and use social media at your disposal. If this is strictly talking about the entrepreneurial aspect of things. Yeah. I don't know if these threes are strong threes, but yeah.
No, definitely. That's great. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
Thank you for I kind of rambled on, I'm sure, here and there a lot, but no, I do definitely appreciate
Yeah, no, I thank you. I appreciate your time and for coming and sharing your story, and it's very inspiring. Um, and looking forward to, having you on the main channel.
all right, man. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you, Alex.
Beautiful day.
Talk soon. You
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.